Alright, what's going on, guys? Griffin here, back with another video from Millennial Motivation Entrepreneur. As always, first and foremost, for those of you that are new and just looking to maybe start making some money in the stock markets, day trading, as always, definitely hit the subscribe button below. As you can see in the title, we talk about how to start day trading, swing trading, whichever form of trading you wish to go with less than $1,000. Now, does that mean this only applies to people with $1,000 or less? No, absolutely not. Obviously, the more money, the better. This is pay to play, essentially, kind of games we're doing here. But you can definitely make a full-time living off of that, and that's what this channel is about. It's not just about the stock markets. It's about how to just achieve financial freedom altogether. That way you don't need a job just over broke, as I like to call them. So yeah, like I said, if you're new to me and like what you see here, consider subscribing or at least checking out the other videos below. I got like 150 now, or somewhere around there, like 140, 150, something like that. But anyways, we'll go ahead and get right to it, everybody. I'm going to first and foremost make sure that the stream is doing all right. We don't seem to be doing too bad. Go back here. I'm going to get a drink real quick before we get started. I'll give people some time to join. I guess I better make sure my chat's pulled up again too. Sometimes I forget that. Alright, got that right there. Go ahead and check that one more time. Right there, right there. Alright, so as for today, what I did trading wise, I bought another 2 shares of JDST. For those of you that don't know, if you're tuning in for the first time, I started with like roughly $200. I added about 200 more to my account, roughly 500, about 460. And I lost some money because I invested in seed at a horrible time. If you don't know what ticker symbol SEED is, just search it and you'll see where I lost money. I cut my losses at 103. It's down, last time I checked, like 95 cents. Let's see where it's at as of today. I didn't even look. It's not on my watch list at all. So now it's at 87 cents. So as you can see, it's a horrible stock. But to each their own. Huge pump and dump at the end of the day. But we're going to start out with Drip. I don't know why I'm hiccuping all of a sudden, but we're going to start with Drip because Drip is where I made a majority of my money today. I bought into Drip at around $12.43. It said that was my average buy price. I got in at $12.43 and then also like at $12.42 for a couple of shares. But if we go to the 1 day here, you can see we called it out. I said that it would probably continue to see this little uptrend today. I kind of hoped that it would reach 13 plus, but I think it's kind of hitting this resistance around like 12.85. Obviously, as you can see, it went up to about, let's go ahead and just zoom in right here. As you can see, it got up to about 12.90 at one point, got rejected. Right now, it's been hanging out. If you watch Drip really closely, like the last 30 minutes to an hour of the market day, like I did, you saw it repeatedly got rejected over and over by 12.90. So who knows? Like if you zoom in close here, you'll see more what I'm talking about. It went up, got rejected, came down, went up, got rejected, came. It's just kind of been consolidating ever since there. MACD, let's go ahead and zoom back out because I'm still interested by it for sure. I do think it will go ahead eventually, and obviously if you look at my trend lines, if we go back a little bit further, say 5 day, my trend lines that I drew out, obviously I got what I think is going to happen here is I need to update this one because I think I need to do it more this way. But I do see it reaching probably like 1340, maybe possibly tomorrow. Who knows? Who's to say? It could go higher. It could kind of get stalled out around 13 and trend back down. But I do think by Monday, hopefully, because that's when I will have my funds available again. By Monday, hopefully, it'll be roughly around 14. And we will see it trend back down because I want to catch it going down, obviously, and then buy it back up. If you don't know what I mean about my trend lines, I draw out trend lines for like what I think just by, I do a trend line, I draw my own trend line, I don't know why I call it, like with a resistance and a support, what I think are possible resistances and supports. I do it pretty much based off of the peaks as it goes. Now, obviously, you can't hit every single peak, but you try to get pretty close. And then same thing with your support. You just do it at the bottom peaks. And then if I go further back, I think it was the 180 day. Not 180 day, let's go right here. For some reason, I think this was like my initial support. But I might as well go ahead and delete this. I don't know why I even have it there still. Make it easier to look at. But yeah, let's go to 20 day. So yeah, 20 day, as you can see, it's gone up as high as almost 16. It's obviously trending down if we go and just make our time frame, say 30 days, go back. you can see that it reached highs of almost 20, and it's really just been kind of trending down ever since. And if we go over to the flip side of Gush, because obviously, like we keep talking about, Gush is the inverse of what? Drip. So obviously, as Gush had a sell-off, it has been trending up ever since. However, there is going to be a resistance around $25, which at that point, and we've gotten real, I think actually, I didn't really look at Gush much today, but if I remember right, we actually got up above the 24, pretty close to the 25 after market hours. Yeah, like 24.75 or something like that. But 25 obviously is the major resistance, and this is where I think Gush is possibly due for a possible sell-off once again, because if we go back, I just need to zoom out. If we go back to maybe further out, let's go to 90, or not, right there, like that. Go to 90. As you can see, whoo, got my phone right there. As you can see, Gush had a huge sell-off for a pretty long time, actually, for a couple months. And then, obviously, it's been trending back up. However, if we zoom in, like right here, there's obviously a new resistance right around 25. So, who knows? It could be due to just trend back down. However, if it can break through 25, if we zoom back out just a little bit, I don't think we'll have another resistance until... The next resistance would be roughly, there's a little hump right here where there could be another resistance right around 26, but then you won't see another true resistance until right around $29. So, I mean, if Gush can break through 25, it could easily go up to close to $29. It wouldn't be like overnight or anything. It'd be more of a swing trade, possible long-term trade for sure. But I mean, Gush has been striding pretty good, like $1 or so per day. I mean, today it did go down, obviously $1.57, but I mean, on the flip side, what happened with Drip? Drip went up 71 cents on the day for almost 6%. So, I mean, just follow these trends. If you don't understand them, or if you don't specifically understand Drip and Gush, then you have JDST and JNUG, which we'll get into in a second, because like I said, I bought a few more shares of JDST today as well. JDST had a okay day. I mean, it went up, but my average buy cost is like $56.25, so obviously I'm still in the red on JDST for now. However, I do still see it hitting $60. Maybe not by Friday like I originally hoped, but in the next coming days for sure. We'll go ahead and talk about that since I'm on that topic. But let me go ahead and make sure that the stream is doing all right. Seems like we're doing okay. Let me get the chat pulled up so we don't have any questions currently. If you have any questions or anything, definitely just let me know in the comments in the chat, and I'll answer them right here, right now. But yeah, JDST, as you can see, let's go ahead and go to just 20 days with that. So as you can see, I have my trend lines here. I say, and obviously it went really low, but it did once before too. Right, what day was that? March 6th. It also went down as low as like 52, so I wasn't too freaked out when it did this. I know it's going to take it a day or two to completely kind of go back up above the trend line. But look, and by the time it does, I mean, what's the next? It's going to be like at 58.50 essentially. So by the time it gets back above there, I might as well just wait out and see how high it goes, because then looky there, we're looking at, if my line is correct, of course, now it could be wrong, you're going to see a resistance here, a pretty hard resistance around 60 again. Which honestly, at that point, if it can get up to 60, I might consider selling off. Depends on how long it takes to get to 60. I do believe it will get to 60 and beyond over time. Just depends on how long this trend continues with JDST and JNUG, because obviously if you go to the flip side of JNUG obviously has been trending down of late. However, if you were to get into JNUG, what was it, yesterday or the day before, and kind of swing trade this for 2 or 3 days, as you can see, if you got it down here around 12.87, it got as high as around like $14. So you're looking at like $1.20 profit, something like that, by the time you wait for it to confirm that it's going back up. Even if you waited and got in at 13 and sold off at almost $14, you're talking a decent profit, guys, like just under 10%, maybe even a little more. So yeah, I mean, I didn't personally day trade JNUG, however, I will in the future for sure. But going back to JDST, just looking at the overall pattern here, it'll go below its support that I drawn out here. It goes below support. What does it do? It goes right back up to around 60, gets rejected, goes down, goes up right up to 60 or just over 60, gets rejected, got up near 59.60, got rejected. So if this pattern continues, I see it getting rejected again. Who knows? This actually could be a new support around 57 or 58. So that's something to be on the lookout for too. Do I think it's going to be resistance? Probably not. But I mean, I'm sure it will give it a little bit of trouble as it trends back up. And if it does get up to 60 at this point, like I said, depending on just how it looks, how long it takes to get there, I'll probably go ahead and sell off, because if we get the calculator pulled up here, at 56.25 is my average buy cost. So that'd be what, a 375 profit. So if you're talking 375 profit off of 56.25, you're talking roughly almost a 7% profit. So I mean, for a little swing trade with not very many shares, that's not that bad. And I mean, you're talking, I have what, 3 shares, so 375. I mean, I don't have huge shares in JDST or anything. That's the thing, when you have a smaller account, you're not going to be able to buy. You're not going to be able to buy as many shares of these larger stocks, just because obviously you only have so much money. But I only have 3 shares. But at the end of the day, look at there, still looking at 11.25 profit. Nothing huge or anything, but consistent growth is the key at the end of the day. Man, I'm really thirsty tonight. I'm praying to God I don't get sick. For those of you that don't know, my girlfriend got influenza B, and I've been like taking care of her, and I'm just like hoping, I'm like, she's almost better, so hopefully I'm like out of the woods. But of course, you never know. But yeah, here in a second I'll go over like when I got out of drip and what profits I covered and all that good stuff. But let me go ahead and see if there's anything going on in the chat. Nothing currently going on. Make sure that the stream's doing all right. Says it's doing okay. But yeah, see, I marked it at 58 because I want to know when it breaks back above this possible new resistance here. Once it breaks above 58, I'm going to wait for it. I'll probably set another alert at some point for 60 once I see it getting close. But yeah, if I can get it for 60, guys, I'll probably just go ahead and sell off, in all honesty. Unless, if like I said, something looks like it's just going to break right through the 60 resistance and test the next resistance around like $64, $65. Which obviously at that point you're talking $5 more times 3 shares. You're talking $15 more. So I mean, if it looks like that's going to happen, of course I'll do it. But I'm no fortune teller. I'm just saying, as of now, it looks like I'm going to get out around 60. But yeah. So with drip, we'll go ahead and go back to drip. I'm going to talk about specifically where did I get out and for how much profit. So like I said, I got in around 12.43. I sold off right as the market was getting ready to close at 12.85. So if you do the math on that, that was what, a 42-cent profit per share. So a 42-cent profit divided by my initial investment of 12.43. Wasn't a huge profit or anything, but I mean, look, almost 3.5%. What do I keep telling you guys? If you can lock profits of 3+% a day, or even 2, something small as 2. I mean, 2 adds up. Like anything, as long as it's profit, it adds up, guys. Because if you make just 1%, I mean, obviously that's not very good, but I mean, it's better if you can do profit consistently every single day that you day trade. You're doing what like 95, 96 or more percent of the market cannot do, because most people get cocky, they gamble. A lot of people do treat the stock market like gambling, believe it or not. They just, at the end of the day, just aren't educated, ignorant maybe, who knows, but just people for some reason just don't want to cover profits, and they end up losing everything in after hours or pre-market hours, especially if you're on Robinhood and don't have like Robinhood Gold like most people, and then they wonder why they're not making money. Well, I looked at the risk versus reward, and I was like, well, there's been a resistance pretty much all day around like 12.85, 12.90. So I might as well just go ahead and sell, take my profits of 3.5%, and move on. You can always get, that's the thing you need to remember, guys. You can always get back in a stock, but you can never get back. I mean, you can, but it's going to take a lot longer to get back the profits that you lost by not covering your profits and then moving on. So, I mean, it's just something to think about. Like I said, it's just something you learn over time. When I first started, wow, I have this big wart here I didn't know about. Ow. But that's one thing that I didn't really pay too much attention to when I was first getting started. And I mean, I lost like $20 because of it. And now, as of today, I made about $11, down 30 cents because of JDST and aftermarket hours. But I mean, this is today, guys. Today, overall, obviously, like I said, losing some money from GDST, so it makes sense. But my overall profit was still 2.32% for $10.59 of profit. So like I said, nothing big, but I mean, if you can add $10 a day, 3 days a week, and then 2 days a week at the minimum, obviously, the more that I keep on gaining, the more that 10 is going to grow to like 12, then 14. I mean, if you do the minimum of like 2% a day, I mean, do 2% a day, keep compounding that. I mean, obviously your goal is like 5 plus if possible, but just focus on covering profits. Don't hang in a stock, especially if it looks like it's at a resistance point that could at any moment, honestly, flip back down, because you never know. You're not a fortune teller. You can do your best to think, oh, well, it's going to hit like me. I do think that drip will probably hit $13 plus tomorrow, but I calculated that risk versus reward, and I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to take the profits. I've learned this lesson. I'm not doing this dance again, and I'm just going to move on. I'll trade again Monday, because for those of you that don't know, with Robinhood, the cash account, or I think most of the accounts I haven't had but the cash account, but whatever you trade, I talked about this some last night too. So whatever I sold off today won't be available till Monday, and that was pretty much all of my money other than JDST. So that money, I'm pretty much out of money. I have like $4 or something. I'll go ahead and show you. I have like $4.19 of buying power. So I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm just going to study up on Friday, see what stocks are trending down, look at these ETFs specifically, see if it looks like these trends are going to continue, or if we're going to see a reverse where I should then buy into Gush, or if I should then buy into JNUG. To be determined, but I do think in the near future we will be seeing a flip. So, yeah, let me go ahead and hop back in the chat. Don't got nothing going on as of now. Make sure stream's still doing all right. So we're doing okay. Give me a drink real quick, and we'll talk about Snapchat too right now. So Snapchat, I did check Snapchat because I was pretty much making some decent estimations about it. And as you can see, where are we at? So if we go to the, 5-day, if I remember right? I don't remember which one. Okay, so yeah, the 5-day. What did I say? I said I was going to see it trend up yesterday. Obviously did that. And what I said during early market hours, I look for it to kind of sell off. What did it do? It started going down. It went a little below actually what I drew out as my trend line down. And then what it do? It came back up. It's testing the resistance here, roughly around 1675. It went back above it briefly, got rejected. So I mean, I've drawn this one out pretty damn good, guys. I'm actually kind of happy about that because, I mean, let's be real, I'm still pretty new at this, and I mean, I'm just following basic trends, trying to draw my own trend lines and just kind of adjust as need be. But if you're wondering why did I mark this at 802, let me go ahead and go back to, I think, 20-day. No, maybe just the 10-day. Trying to make it look the best for you all. I marked it at 18. I think I'm at 18, so 1802, because if I said that there might be a possible reversal with Snapchat, that it might start actually trending up, and I marked it at 17 because I think obviously that'll be the main resistance if it can break through this trend down. 17 will be the first, and then 18 would then, like if it breaks through 17, I would consider investing in. However, I'm not going to invest at 17. I'm going to wait for it to continue to have a steady pattern going up. I'd probably wait till like 17.25, somewhere in there, maybe even 17.30, and then I'd ride it up to 18. It wouldn't be a huge profit. I'm looking at what, about 75-cent profit at that point. 75 cents divided by, what would I say, 17.25. So if I were to get in at 17.25, you're only looking at, I mean, it's actually bigger than I thought, 4.3% profit. So, I mean, it's just, like I said, calculating your risk versus reward and then going with whatever you feel most confident about. So, also, there would be another point. As you see here, I got it marked down at, what, 1578. Why? Because, actually, I think I should have marked it slightly lower. But, I think that is where we will see our next bounce. I think it'll trend down here probably within the next day. I think by Monday we'll probably see, if it keeps trending down, of course, I think we will see it hit 1575-ish within the next 2 market days, maybe 3 at the most, but I think within the next two market days we will see it bounce off of this 1575 line, and I think we'll go ahead and watch it right on up to 1645-ish, maybe a little lower, around 1640, let's just say 1640. So if you were to wait for it to bounce off the 75, maybe that's why I marked it, because I want to watch it hit 75 and then 78 I would invest in. However, let's just say 80 for easy numbers. If you make, that would be then 60 cents. If you make just 60 cents a share off of 1580, or yeah, 1580. Or you could obviously wait a little longer if you want, but for this purpose, I'm just saying 1580. You're still looking at 3.8, essentially 3.8% profit. So I mean, Snapchat has a lot of opportunity for like a 1 or 2 day swing trade at the most. But like I said, it's to be determined. I'm just looking to see if it could possibly break above this. It's obviously having a hard time doing so, so I do not think it will. However, I will go ahead and keep my alerts on, because I mean, you never know. None of us are fortune tellers at the end of the day. But I do think we will continue to see this downtrend, and then I'll wait for the bounce, which at that point, of course, I would invest in. But yeah, let me see if we have any questions about that. So we don't have any questions. And I'll check the stream one last time before I go ahead and start wrapping this up. But yeah, as for tomorrow, like I said, I don't have really any money to do any trading with. Next week, I will have my money back from what I sold today, and hopefully I might be able to add a few dollars in there, like maybe as much as 50, nothing big or anything. Sounds like some dogs are going at it down there. But yeah, so as for tomorrow, all I'm really going to be doing is some studying, like studying on some stocks, maybe look at a few new stocks. I might look up some more ETFs, because obviously there's tons of ETFs out there, and I've had some decent luck with ETFs of late. I would get into UGAS and DGAS, but I just really haven't gotten into them much lately. One, because obviously they're higher priced, as you see, $30 and $50. I mean, there is potential day trading in both of them, but I'm just not there yet. I'm keeping them on my watch list just because I do think with natural, if you know anything about natural gas, the prices obviously go down in spring and summer because we're not using as much of it. So I do look, and I mean, I'll go ahead and just pull it up just to show you guys like what I'm talking about. So with UGAS, I mean, look here already. I mean, this was in early March when we're obviously still using a lot of natural gas. It was at 64. It's all the way down to 53. It's dropped $11. But I mean, if we just go to what? Let's just do a 1 year analysis. So looky here. If you go way back into, well, I guess that's April. I guess I might be slightly wrong on that. Maybe let's look at DGAS if that's more of an example of it. That might be better. Maybe not. Who knows? But generally speaking, natural gas prices will go down, obviously, in like spring and summer months. And this kind of more or less shows that. It spiked up when? It started going up big time when? Around fall time. Here we're in October. If you can't tell where my days are, the day is right here. So as you can see, it started really going up when? Around November into December. And then January, we started slowly selling off. And then, obviously, I don't know. Like I said, I'm still learning, of course. I kind of just figured that natural gas would be kind of lower in the summer. But like I said, I'm not really into them yet. I'm just going to keep on building my account with what I do know, which is JDST, JNUG, Gush, Drip, Snapchat, a few others. AMD is another one. I don't know if I actually have that on my watch list. Fitbit's another one. We'll go ahead and talk about Fitbit because I was looking at that today, and this is intriguing me. I don't know why I put that there. But let's go ahead and just go to the 20 day. So as you can, or maybe a little bit further. Let's go to 180 day. And then we'll go ahead and just crop that out like that. So I mean, as you can see, it is obviously trending down. However, if we go to like the last 5, you can see, I thought maybe I was looking at it wrong. Or okay, yeah, this is what I'm looking at, just mostly right here. So as you can see, it got low as like 508, but it looks like there might be a support here right around 510. Obviously right now it's sitting where at 511, and it looks to be, obviously it looks like it's trying to consolidate right there. It didn't really move in after hours whatsoever, kind of just flatline. So I'm kind of wondering, I'm actually going to set an alert. I'll set an alert at, let's say 5, I don't know actually. I don't know if it's going to be worth it. I'll set one at 513. And this doesn't really have too much potential or anything. I mean, it's potential for profits at the end of the day. So I'll just set it at 513, if it'll go down, 513. So I mean, if we write it up here to, now do I think this is going to be a resistance? It could be a resistance here around 519, and for all I know, it could continue to trend down actually. However, I'm going to wait at 513. I'm going to see what happens. If it can break through that 519, I'm not saying I'm going to invest in this whatsoever. I'm just setting an alert because I'm kind of just interested in the stock overall. If it can like break through that initial, what looks like could be a resistance around 517-ish, and then it can go ahead and bust right through 525. I do think it could possibly get back up here around 530. So I mean, if you were to get in at, let's say you wanted to wait and confirm, you're talking what, 517 to 530, you're talking a 13-cent profit. Like I said, it's not going to be a huge profit, but I mean 13 cents off of what we say, 517. Let's go ahead and say 518. So 518, I mean 2.5%, 3% profit at the most, 3%, but about 2.5% to 3% profit. Like I said, not a huge profit or anything, but profits are profits, and this is a obviously low valued stock. So I mean, you can load up on this stock. You can, let's say you have a $500, like your entire account's 500. I'm not gonna say invest your whole account in this whatsoever, but I mean, let's say you buy just 20 shares of this. I mean, if you make a 13-cent profit off of 20 cents, you're looking at what, 13 cents off of 20 shares, you're looking at a quick 260 made. I mean, like I said, it's not going to be a big amount. It is essentially a penny stock. It's not quite a penny stock technically because it's not under $5, but let's be real. I mean, it can be. It has been in the past. It's gone as low as like $4.97 if I remember right, and that is why I'm kind of on edge about it, because as you can see, 503. I think if we go even further back to 20-day, yeah, 454 at one point. But there seems to be a solid support around 475. So I mean, who knows? Okay, this might have been the one I was looking for. This is making a lot more sense now. So I do look actually for it to just pretty much forget everything I just about said. I mean, yes, you can ride it up here to 530 still and get your 2.5%. If it continues to do so, who knows? This might be a solid support here around $5, and it might actually start trending up. I could be totally wrong about my analysis on what I was about to say, but you could see this number going up like this, and then obviously you'd see this like this. So I mean, if this could continue, I mean, you could see it possibly, let's say something like this. You're talking from roughly 525 until 575. Now let's do that calculation. You're talking a 50-cent profit off of a, what, 525? That's what we said, 525 investment. Now you're looking at 9.5%. So that's probably what I was thinking to begin with. So 9.5% potential if it continues to take this trend up. However, will it? I mean, who's to say? I don't really like this curve that it's getting. There's just something about it that I personally don't like. It looks like it could be testing the support here because the support's roughly around, what would you say, about 5, pretty much right where it is, around 511. So I wouldn't make any moves on it tomorrow personally. I would just watch it. I would set a few alerts. I would set an alert. I'm going to go ahead and take my alert off here at 513. I'm going to set an alert at pretty much $5. And why am I doing that? Because like I said, I want to see if it continues to trend down. So I'm going to set it at $4.99 actually. So I'm going to see if it continues to trend down, or is it going to continue to trend up. So by doing so, I'm going to go ahead and set an alarm also at 535. So at or above 535. And then at that point, I'll go ahead and set myself another alarm at roughly 5. Let's go ahead and say 560. So at or above 560. So what I'm pretty much looking for is some kind of confirmation of a what am I trying to say? I just had a total brain fart. I'm looking for some form of a confirmation of a reversal. There we go. And then we'll go ahead and write it on up to possibly 575. Now, could this be a resistance here around 560-ish going forward? I mean, let's go ahead and go back even further. I'm spending way too much time on this stock in all honesty. But there's potential there for, like I said, 7 to 10% profit. Now, could there be a resistance here right around the 550 to 560 mark? actually around 545, around 545 to 550, sure, but at the end of the day, it's just up to you. Like I said, I'm never going to tell you guys what to invest in. Me personally, though, I pretty much said my piece on what I'm going to do. I'm going to look and see if it'll start trending back down. If it does, I will definitely consider hopping in if it can bounce off of a support around 479. If it can bounce off there, then I will consider. Because I mean, look, if you get in here around 580 and it takes this trend back up to around 520, you're looking at about 8% profit over a couple weeks, guys. So I mean, like I said, I'm not going to tell you guys what to invest in whatsoever. I'm kind of on edge about this stock in all honesty, but it did kind of intrigue me just by this overall pattern that could be taking place. So yeah, I'll go ahead and hop in the chat one last final time. Doesn't look like we have any questions or anything. Make sure stream's still doing all right. Yeah, we're going on half an hour. I'll go ahead and wrap this up for you all. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. If you did, definitely make sure to smash that like button. I greatly appreciate it. Like I said, we ended the day positive, up almost $11 on the day, so that is awesome, of course. Hopefully just more and more and beyond going forward. But yeah, like I said, if you do like the video, definitely consider hitting the subscribe button and hitting the like button. I greatly appreciate that. But until next time, guys, keep on going out there and making those profits, achieving financial freedom, and I'll see you guys in the next video.